It's me up in this camp. All right, let's see. Hey, welcome. I'm glad you are here. Let me get a little organized because right now I am not organized. Sorry, just needed to move a few things around. All right, so tell you what, right now you are witnessing an incredible and exciting time because I am going to give you a quick update on the XYO Network live event called the XYO Spatial Event. Hashtag XYO Revolution. Hey, yeah, this is Rashid Hill. As you know, I am the founder of L3 Coaching Solutions. I can be found at www.l3procoach.com, as well as the author of an amazing, an incredible, and dynamic personal and professional development guide called 8 Ways to Be 10 Times Better. It is my pleasure, it is an honor to have been a part of the launching, the mainnet activation, and showing an actual sampling of how the XYO network works. As you know, I'm a blockchain enthusiast. I actually have studied blockchain and cryptocurrency for some time, a little bit over 2 years. I'm invested in over 40 different cryptocurrencies as well as 6 different ICOs. And 3 of them are pretty much at the top of their game right now. One you may know of is Crypterium, two, XYO Network, and three is Publica, is one of the pretty profound projects that I've seen in a long time. So you can look those up if you want to check them out. But today it's all about XYO Network, geo hacking, geo mining. We're talking about spatial event. We're talking about IES, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. But it's all tied into DApps and DAOs, as well as it's just emerging technology of AI, IoT, blockchain, hyperledger, and just collaborations all over. Without further ado, I'm right here in Southern California, San Diego, where the big mainnet launch happened over the weekend of the 9th through the 11th. And here's what we found out. At the spatial event, you know, um, the CEO, or more or less the chief motivating officer, he calls himself, Scott Shepard, he actually took the time and gave us, I mean, just so much information in a very short period of time. Friday, Saturday was just jam packed. It was happening. There was, I think it was over 800 people, but they had about 15, I think there was close to about 15,000 people actually tried to register. So they went on to set them up for next year. So let's get into it. Update XYO Network, we got geomining. Now, you may ask the question, what is geomining? Well, you should have been there. But geomining was, they talked about this at a panel. Like I said, these are just highlights. I'm not going to dig too deep. I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to give you about 20 minutes of great information, and then I'll add my blog to the link, and then you can get more detailed information about some of the things that came out of the event. So at the live event, they talked about geo mining, more cost efficient and profitable. And guess what? If you know anything about mining, even if it's green, even if it's power source heavy or producing, like with Bitcoin and proof of work, you know that those mining rigs, you know the ant miner and those other mining rigs that they're putting out there for Shaw 256 or the other ones, at the end of the day, you will pay in excess of $3,000 for one mining rig or server to produce a small amount of coins. Crazy, right? So no, I am not a physical miner. I am a geo miner. I am a cloud miner. That's what I do. That's what I recommend because that's the way to go. Unfortunately, regular Bitcoin mining, proof of work, is not as profitable as it was in the past. Now, if you want to buy a whole warehouse full of them, yeah, you could probably earn a little bit off of that, but it's going to take you, at least 2 or 3 years before you can get your substantial amount of money back. You're going to average a very small amount on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, even if you have a warehouse full of it. But I recommend, beyond anything else, Power Node pooling is probably the best method of mining today because hardware mining is old and it is not profitable anymore. So I'm gonna move on from power nodes. We're gonna get back into GEO mining, which is geo mining. And if you understand, you have the GPS out in the world that kind of controls where things should be or where they are or where you think they are. But GPS can be hacked or spoofed, as they call it. And it could say, I don't know, I am in point A when I'm really in point B. You could say, hey, I'm going out to run 10 miles and then I'll be back and then we can go to, our meeting. And somebody could be waiting. Well, guess what? You sat on your couch and you went on your phone and you actually created a location that you weren't even there. It's crazy, isn't it? But it's true. It happens. So what XYO has done, they've created a platform where it actually can provide a proof of origin and knows exactly where something is at that time. Boom! That right there is powerful than anything you ever seen. So anyway, that's more of a description of the company, but I'm talking about the weekend here. So they talk about geomining. You can actually get geomining kits, whereas an ant miner or proof of work miner would be paying about $3,000 to $4,000 for a rig. With the geomining XYO, it's under $500 and it's still profitable. Boom, that's what's up. Panels. There was so many panels that was happening. Um, 2 days jam packed from 10 a.m. all the way through 6:30 every day. It was packed. Right. We had panels about the world of geodapps. We had panels about um, building a blockchain, and developers were talking. So yeah, there was some tech talk there. People talking about things that will just way over my head. Talking about geomining, talking about decentralized knowledge, transportation, smart cities, exploration. So yes, there was panels about geodapps. Developers was talking geomining, smart cities, and transportation. That right there obviously hits home for me since um, my skill, my knowledge, my base, what I do, what my trade is in logistics and transportation. So, and project management. Um, so I'm interested in how to use blockchain technology, how to use Internet of Things, how to use these emerging technologies to help create smart cities and transportation, the link between the two, and how does that work? How does that help me as a citizen? But at the end of the day, how does it help the community work better? How does it make cities work better? Dubai is known as the first smart city, right? And they're basically changing everything and run on this smart city concept. So I'm trying to understand that. So it was great that they talked about that. So here's one way that um, last year was more about fintech. This year is more about regulatory tech, right? So most of the companies that are in the blockchain space, they need to be regulated before big industry funds are dumped into them. And then it becomes more profitable, more acceptable to the world as a whole. So right now you have a lot of acceptance, but a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. And these partnerships are being made even from the SEC in the US, as well as big banks, big financial institutions, as well as big transportation alliances that are saying, hey, we're going to regulate this so we can get institutional money to fund and grow exponentially this blockchain concept. So they talked about partnerships. This is huge. So the partnerships was like with BITA, Mobi, Esri, and Trusted Internet of Things Alliance. So BITA being the Blockchain and Transportation Alliance, that's huge. I mean, you have a company, XYO Network, or XY, which obviously means X, Y coordinates, right? Where they meet That's why they call it XY, because they actually are proof of origin, proof of location. They'll tell you exactly where something is um, on the spot without falsification of the information. So we got BITA, which is the blockchain in transportation lines, which is essential. They're trying to make sure that the industry is compliant. You got MOBI, which is your mobility blockchain of Internet of Things, and then you have, and they're talking more about um, autonomous car driving cars. They're talking about how do we connect all devices, um, all mobile devices like transportation. You're talking about vehicles, and making sure that the information that is in there is legit, is true. So they're trying to make sure that uh, that information is regulated in the right way. And the blockchain basically produces the best way to do that. S3, which is mapping, geo mapping. So you're talking, when I say geo, you're talking about the whole world, right? And geo, like the whole, literally the planet. So S3 is like the top geo mapping platform or software in the world. And they're with the Trusted Internet of Things Alliance. So these are some of the partnerships they're on and they're with. So they're pretty much taking over any in transit visibility uh, uh, concepts or requirements. They have it locked down from land, sea, air, and rail. They have it right with satellite, and they said with the GPS, it's just not reliant, not reliable. So they've taken it to a whole new level. One of the biggest connections that they have, one of the biggest partnerships that they say they have connected with is one of the largest air carriers in the world, which is FedEx. That's huge. So they're going to be providing proof of origin and proof of location for FedEx packages and Amazon as well. And so I didn't talk about Amazon, but yes, that is another partnership that they are working with, which is massive. So you could tell that this company is not sitting back on their heels. They are going to change the face of blockchain technology and how it's used in transit visibility or visibility of things, everything. Um, Also, there was a gentleman named Marcus East that talked. He's the CTO of National Geographic. Now you're saying, what does National Geographic and blockchain have to do with each other? Didn't know it until I heard it. National Geographic, National Geographic is worldwide, and you know that National Geographic is about outdoors. It's about preserving the planet. And when you don't have a lot of following in certain areas, then you start to figure out how do we utilize this new technology to solve some problems that we had and we couldn't figure out. And now they have a chief technology officer that is working with XYO as well in order to bring science and technology together and help the environment. Uh, and Chris Barrows of BITA, which is your blockchain in transportation alliance, they have something called predictive location notification, real powerful in the visibility of things. Internet of Things, AI, and sensors. We'll talk a little bit more about the connecting of devices in order to create the perfect smart city in a minute. But remember the term sensors and Internet of Things because that's essential to understand how this really works with the proof of location and proof of origin. Another thing that Scott talked about with XYO is intelligent exchange strategy, IES. So people want to know, hey, when you're going to go on the exchange so we can trade the tokens or the coins, right? And obviously because of the value, because if the company is growing like this, if the company is doing big things and partner with these huge organizations, then you know it's going to grow and the value is going up. So they have sold Reg A stock along the side of the tokens to anybody that was interested that wanted to be partner or owner of the company. And so they had both there. And so if the ICO or the STO was created and they said, okay, these are only security tokens, now, American, you can actually buy stock in the company with the Reg A stocks that they were offering. So they offered both, which I thought was brilliant. and the company is massive. So with their IES or their intelligent exchange strategy, they have companies, exchanges, like your Cryptopia, your Ether Delta, your Carbon Hood, and all of these out there, Qcoin, and so on and so forth. We know the largest is Binance. That's the only one really that matters, right? You got Bittrex, you got Bitstamp, you got all of this, BitMEX. They want a part of XYO. So XYO evaluates the exchanges by one, volume, another one is resources, reputation, and community. So they want to make sure that, hey, when we go on, we want to be able to, one, get on without having to just use Bitcoin and Ethereum. If we can use a credit card, if we can use a debit card, if we can use Visa, MasterCard, Discover, if my people can get on with that, and then when they want their money and they want to cash out, then that has to be easy as well. So that was something else that they talked about, is the ease of getting on and the ease of getting off. As a trader, right? If you're a trader in the cryptocurrency industry, you want to make sure if you're going to go in and buy XYO tokens or coins on an exchange, you want to be able to do it easily. And when you want to cash out, you want to do it easily. So that's what they're looking for. But we know that Binance is probably the largest and the most attractive exchange platform for cryptocurrency. With that being said, Scott says, this is what we want to do. We want to get the community behind us, because Binance requires $1 million deposit. Yeah, you heard that right. Livecoin, I know they require $40,000 deposit. So there's a large amount of money that floats around. And a lot of them actually are going to a voting or consensus base, where they just require you to be the most popular coin at that time, and they'll list you because they know that they're going to attract a lot of people that want to buy that coin. So what they've done is, here's XYO. They already have the following. They already have a massive amount of funds. But they don't want to use that to just give to the exchange. So they've asked all of the community to make sure they have an account on Binance, and all at one time, at a certain period during the month, every month, Binance allows for these blockchain companies um, to vote, basically. And so if you want to get their attention, you just have to massively put it in their face. And so that's what they're doing. We're going to, as a community, come together and say, right now, this day, this time, we're going to tell Binance, we're ready. We got, 80,000 people, and they're ready to go and purchase on your platform. We're not going to pay you $1 million. We're going to bring you $1 million through our network. Boom. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I mean, everybody trades on Binance anyway. So it's not something new. It's not different. You're just not changing habits, right? So it makes it easy. But anyway, that's pretty brilliant for Scott. Like I said, the co-founder, because he is about not spending his own money. He's spending, letting other people. But it's fair. It's not a trick. It's really legit. It's just a better way of doing business. Um, Here's a very interesting thing. Uh, on another video, I talked about Crypto 101, which is an app on the iOS system, Apple system. And there was a guy named Matthew Aaron that runs that app, and he had an experience a couple of years back. And so he wanted to make sure that he put his message out there about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in specific, and cross-border transfers and transactions. How Big Bank is ripping us off and basically causing the loss of life by not utilizing Bitcoin blockchain technology to help facilitate easier transactions across the borders. So anyway, if you want to hear about the story, yes, somebody did die, and he wasn't able to help them because of the interference of the banks and how the system is so messed up. So before I go, I want to tell you that Udacity, Udacity, Udacity uh, had a great talk with the company called Civic, and it was very powerful. Talked about digital ID and the requirement for that, and it really would be helpful in like a refugee situation. So I thought that was powerful as well. But one of the last things that I'm going to talk about is, in 2 days, XYO tokens valuation went up $4 million in just 2 days, over 30% increase in 2 days, over $4 million capitalization. It went from number 380 all the way up to number 255. And while we were talking about it, it went to 253 on the coin market capitalization. That's XYO Network. Great event this past weekend. I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. If you want to know more about XYO, you can always look me up and you'll see more information on my blog, which is www.reel-e-news, real-e-news.info. Or you could go to my Facebook quote unquote blog, which is Our Cryptocurrency Era. Our Cryptocurrency Era. That's a group on Facebook, and you will find more information there. I'm Rashid Hill, and it's been a pleasure, and I'll talk to you again.